All right, shalom, man. Good morning, boys. Here, well, here on the land, just coordinating some delivery of some more wood. And like I said before, I'm going to be able to use these pine stalks or stakes or poles, whatever you want to call them, to go ahead and replace the posts that have been rotted or begin to rot. But I was thinking about something right quick, and this is something that I spend a lot of time on, is land beautification, land maintenance, because it's often stated that you can tell a lot about a man by how he keeps his land, and you can tell a lot about a woman by how she keeps her house. And my responsibility is making sure that the land is beautiful and well maintained. And that's one of the things that we focus on as homesteaders. Well, at least I focus on. I can tell you stories of people that I've ran up to their property and it looked pretty bad. It looked like, them back hillbilly people, just impoverished with children running all around and in shanty town and shacks. And it's just sad. But us as homesteaders, one of the key things that we focus on is making sure that our land is beautiful, because it just says a lot about who you are as a person. When people drive up to your property and they look around and they see how your pasture is maintained, how your fencing is maintained, how you keep things. And this is where we keep all our wood, because on this side of the property, on this side of the land, the dry creek runs, and there is no real use. I don't build anything, so I use this to store as much wood as I can, so that we have plenty of wood for the wood stoves that we have. And I think that's a excellent way or the best way for homesteaders to heat their homes. But beautification, land beautification is so important. Land maintenance is so important. It is a job. Excuse me. First time speaking this morning. That I take very, very, very seriously. And as you see, you have the sheep, and they're doing well. And let me try and fix this camera a little bit. Oh, there you go. The sheep pen in the pasture. Sorry about that. I'm trying to use this gimbal. It's acting like crap. But then this is where, I cut down a tree recently next to one of the little cabins, and all of that wood is going to get processed for the wood burning stoves. And then you have the main area. And all of this was filled with trees and stuff. And I cut all of this stuff down to just make room for additional facilities. That is another water line that I put in. And I had electrical. I did the electrical myself. Excuse me. And then here, what you have is some fence posts and some fencing that I'm going to use that was thrown away, and I can use it to do further projects, you know, in terms of beautification on the land. And I was just thinking about, you know, how do I go about, you know, making the land more beautiful? Because, you know, it's amazing. You know, anytime somebody comes to deliver anything on the property or do anything on the property, they always compliment me. They always compliment and says, "Man, you have a beautiful piece of land back here. We didn't even know that it was back here." But you know, it is a blessing to be able to live this life. And it's like a perfect example, you know what I'm saying? You know, you go into one of the cabins and sorry about that. And it's just beautiful. I mean, it's one of the tiny homes. I did all the work myself. And then you come into the back area. I call this is the back one, where I keep the pasture as well, and the chickens roam, and I keep my wood splitter. I keep my zero turn lawnmower back here, and I also have my shooting range when I get to get out here and do my playing going on. I got that. And when I want to disappear, I got my hammock in the back here. And as you see, my daughter's out tending to the goats. And as you see, that is the 30 by 96 greenhouse that I have to order some new plastic for. And I'm going to be doing a greenhouse within a greenhouse. We're going to get some new plastic because that plastic, man, it was like 3 times the age. And we wore the crap out of that plastic. And as you see right there, that's where we keep the wood. And then over here is where we keep the goats. And let me get this to focus a little bit more. She's pregnant, and I will be slaughtering him this week. And she is also pregnant. She should be dropping any day now, but she's pregnant as well. And this is where we keep the goats. I don't know what that old fence is doing in here, or that old iron board doing it. My daughter must have put it in. But yeah, very, very, very friendly animals. So this is where we keep the goats. I gotta get a new one. This one was cheap. But they're doing very well. And this is how we feed them. And then we come around. And this is our chicken coop, which I built myself. And, you know, it looks real nice. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. And what did it cost me? It cost me nothing, because these I got no eggs yet this morning. But this is something that I built And this was all off of excess materials. And I was finally able to get a good chicken door that works off the stove, works off the chair. And I got my office and everything, but this is how we're doing it. I mean, it's just a blessed life to be able to provide a beautiful home and setting for the children. Because one of the things that I did not want to do was to move out into the country and live like I was in a shanty town, backwoods, Jethro, teeth jacked up, looking like, you know what I'm saying, total poverty, and living in total poverty. I mean, 20 kids in a shack. I mean, it's just sad, but I just didn't want that for my family. But if people choose to live that way, as we clearly see people choose to live, then that's their business, that's their concern. It just was not going to be me. But everybody has a different standard, a different expectation, and it is what it is. But I mean, like I said, I've been able to drive past some homesteads, and I was like, my God, I mean, it looked real bad. You know what I'm saying? Everything looked rickety and shantied and decrepit and dilapidated, and got all these children running around. It's just nasty. But hey, again, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's how people want to live, then that's how they want to live. That's their business. But as far as for me and my house, now we're not gonna live like that. We're gonna live beautiful. But yeah, ain't it beautiful? Yeah. Like I said, this is where I get my pling on, because you have to train as well. You got to train. So this is a little contraption that I put together, and I get my pling on, and yeah, this is what we do. Everybody has their own standards. Everybody has their own expectations, and that's fine, all well and dandy and stuff, But again, from the YouTubers and stuff that I admire, the channels and homesteads communities that I admire, they keep a very, very beautiful, well-maintained piece of property. And that's something that has motivated me to do what I do in terms of how I tend to the property, to make sure that my children are growing up in a beautiful, clean, safe, well-maintained piece of property. Because, hey, I grew up in poverty, and I didn't want that to be perpetuated when I moved. It's like, people, they'll go from living in poverty in the city and then move to the country and continuing to perpetuate that poverty. And this is why it's so important as well. Put it on that stump right there, sweetie. This is why it's so important as well to make sure that you're developing a business that you can pass down to your children, in addition to establish well-maintained property. This is what generational wealth is. But you can't do that if you haven't put in the physical work to ensure that you've done what is necessary to, like I said, put in the work to ensure that you have something beautiful to send down to your children's children. But all right, stay blessed. Shalom.